I like don't even know that I like the outside of it. Yeah, I think so. I like spiral whenever I stain wood. I end up spiraling and then getting some fresh scenery for a minute and coming back and then being like, oh, I love it. So I really hope that happens this time. I don't know how I feel about it. That would suck really bad if I didn't love it. First of all, today's my birthday and I'm actually excited to stain. I feel like this is a present for myself. I think it's gonna be so good once we get stain on this thing. I did land on Hickory, which was my favorite of the stains that I sampled. I think it was #1 on my 1, 2, 3 board that I held up last week. It's gonna be so dreamy and so rich, and it's just gonna pull in all the right tones, and I can't wait. I am using a gel stain, which goes on a little bit differently than a regular stain. So it's a lot thicker. This is like that pudding stuff. And you leave it sitting for a few minutes and then you wipe it off. And it's just got a more, I guess, even distribution. I don't have much experience with it. I've never actually used a color stain. Or color gel stain. I've used a black gel stain. So I'm really hopeful about this. I just went to the nail salon and I was like, I shouldn't go get my nails done before I stain. But then I was like, oh yeah, I'll wear gloves. And then I didn't put my gloves on. Should have started from the top. So pretty. Okay, so here are my honest thoughts. I love the tone of it, the color of it. I really struggle with the stripiness of red oak. I know I've probably mentioned this like 5 times already. So that to me is what's making me not think that it's absolutely perfect, but I also think that it looks really good. I think the stripiness is a characteristic of wood that is a beautiful thing, and maybe I just need to get over it. At this point, I noticed a pattern. Every single time that I use stain, I'm like not really happy with the process, with the result. It's stressful. My house almost burns down. And yet here I am again using stain. I don't know how I'm feeling about it. I don't hate it. But I also am not looking at it in person, like on camera. It looks great. But when I see it in person, there's like this, I don't know how to describe it, but every time that I stain, there's like this ashiness that I can't stand. And I'm wondering if that's because, or if that will be taken care of when I put on poly, because typically if you use like an oil-based poly, you'll get almost like an amber sheet over the color that you applied. Maybe that's what I need to like give it some richness, because that's what I want. I want like this rich wood tone. I want it to look like an old piece of furniture, and I'm just not getting that. In some areas it feels a little more that way. I don't know if you guys can tell, but like right over here closer to the top, that's making me happy, but down here, not so much. I do know one thing for certain though, that I'm pretty positive I'm gonna paint the inside of it, because there's genuinely ain't no way that I'm gonna be applying stain to the inside of this thing if I like don't even know that I like the outside of it. But I do still think it'd be so fun to have that pretty creamy white on the inside when you open it up. Yeah, I think so. Going out to the shop to sand down this door to prep it for stain, I find that I like spiral whenever I stain wood. A lot of times I end up spiraling and then getting some fresh scenery for a minute and coming back to the project and then being like, oh, I love it. So I really hope that happens this time. I don't know how I feel about it. That would suck really bad if I didn't love it. Right, so this is my little back panel. You know how I have that like exposed drywall on the back of the bottom part of the hutch? I just cut this from a 1/4 inch piece and I went ahead and cut out the outlet. So I'm gonna go ahead and stain this and then install it with some brad nails. Gosh, I just love this color right when it gets wiped off. I have definitely noticed though that as stain dries, it changes color ever so slightly. I think that's what was bugging me about the inside. It doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. It just tends to like become slightly less rich, but I think I can still achieve this look right here with just a poly coat with some amber undertones in it. Oh, look at how beautiful that is. This right here, this is exactly my goal, and that makes me so happy. Gosh dang, that is beautiful. Just imagine when I pop that brass hardware on here, how that's gonna look. Don't know if I have time today to do any more. I need to let that stain dry before I flip over and do the back side, and I need to let it dry on the actual hutch before I can install cabinet hardware, and I haven't decided if I want to paint the inside of the closed part inside of it. So, yeah, I still haven't figured that out. And I've got plans tonight because it's my birthday. I'm going to get sushi with my best friends. So I'm running out of time today. That'll give me a good opportunity to figure out what I want to do with the paint situation. Goal today is to finish staining this appliance garage hutch. I still have to do the doors. I just gave these a good little sand down. And I think I'm gonna stain the inside of the top part of the cabinet too. It will need to be sealed, but I can't do that until the stain is like cured. I'm actually feeling so much better about my stain choice now because I just had to sit with it for a minute and like walk away. Sometimes like my eyes play tricks on me when I'm staining. Like I look at it too much and then all of a sudden it's changing colors or something. But additionally, when you put a sealer on top, it does tend to like bring back a little bit of that richness that you get right when you apply the stain, which is when I loved it the most. So I think we're at a good point. When this is done, I will only have the coffee bar left in the kitchen. Holy crap. So that is very exciting. This still just keeps reminding me of chocolate pudding. So I'm noticing too, I thought that I was gonna be letting this sit for a few minutes, but it's actually perfect when I wipe it right off. So that's what I've been doing, just brushing it on and pretty much wiping it right off. This color is just, it is so good. I know a lot of people don't love warmer wood tones. Like people are very opinionated about their wood tones. You either like cool toned like ashy wood or you like rich warm wood, and I feel like there's not really an in-between. I lean towards the rich warm tones. That's just me. It feels more, I don't know, historic, and that's just kind of my nature. Whenever I have a preference, it tends to lean towards whatever looks like it is actually an antique or historic. It's just where I get a lot of my inspiration from. I grew up in a historic home and I grew up in antique shops with my mom, and I just really appreciate old things, old furniture. Wow, look at how beautiful. Just imagine with the brass hardware. I do need your help with the hardware because on all of my cabinets in the kitchen, I have those little brass oval knobs. I did get some that are similar that actually have a back plate, and I'll show you shortly. And I think that they would be really cool for these since these are a different cabinet to kind of like switch up the hardware a little bit. So I'll ask your opinions in a bit. I'll hold up the two options. While the dust settles in here, I wanted to show you guys what has been going on behind the scenes today. This is for a brand partnership. Well, we've been wanting to do a fire pit, but I'm doing the project specifically for a brand partnership right now, and we're building a fire pit. David's been helping me. We smoothed out this area, and then I've been laying paver stones around the edge, and we're spreading sand and putting pea gravel in here, and then I have some fun like outdoor furniture and a cool fire pit thing to go in the middle, and I think it's gonna be super charming. I'm gonna hang some string lights around the trees. We just have like this almost like open area right here in this little woods in our backyard, and it just has always made sense for a fire pit. For the weekend, I actually worked on these outlets. Remember how there was this big hole back here and this was blocking the outlet? Separated the outlet up here for the microwave so that has its own, and then shifted the switches over here. So now everything's separate. I just need to sand this down and then paint the drywall. I'm still over here working on this also, in addition to the appliance garage hutch. I'm really excited about it because the weather is super nice and I just really think it'll be so much fun to have a fire pit. I would consider this a lazy patio. I wouldn't even consider it a patio, honestly, but we do have another area in our backyard where we have peat gravel, so this just made sense to me. And our yard is very sloped, so knowing that, I kind of went into this with like no intentions to try and like build some perfectly level patio. This made the most sense and was also way less intimidating than doing all of that. Basically, I just like marked this 16-foot circle. I made my center with a stake, and then I took my tape measure and marked all the way around and then spray painted the line. And now I'm working my way around and I'm like digging down a little trench for my rocks. And these are cool because they're irregular, but they fit together kind of like a puzzle. So you just flip them back and forth, and I'm sinking them down into the ground a little bit and then compacting the dirt around it. We kind of like raked to flatten down the ground in the center and then tamped it down flat. And then we're gonna be spreading this paver sand, which I will also tamp that down. And then we're getting a big dump truck of pea gravel dumped tomorrow. And they're actually dumping it in our driveway. And we're gonna use the wagon to kind of like bring loads of it and then spread that out. And I'm considering actually spraying some rock glue to kind of like keep the gravel from being so loose. But I have some really cool fire pit furniture that's going to go here, and it's going to be super dreamy and magical because there's going to be string lights too. Very excited about this. Yesterday, I made a post for April Fool's Day on Instagram, and I photoshopped an ugly range and pretended like I was revealing the range finally, and it got everybody so good. Go look at that if you want to see it. But today, the goal is to get these doors hung up on the appliance garage and get the finish on, and then we will be done with the appliance garage. I'll have to show you guys too. Oh, I did. I forgot that it was still in there. The microwave fits perfectly. Let me show you with the door. This is the poly I'm using. It's wipe on poly. This is so easy because it dries super fast and you just wipe it on with a rag and it gives a really nice rich finish. This one I wanted to use because there are certain polys that kind of like bring out an amber hue whenever you apply them, and this is one of those. And I wanted that for this because I felt like there was a little bit of dullness in the final dried stain color. So this, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but once I applied it, it like brought back that richness into the wood that I really wanted. Okay, here's where I need your help. These are the knobs that I have on all of the other cabinet doors in the kitchen. Okay, now I need your help. So I have these on all of the cabinet doors in the kitchen, just a simple oval knob. And we have these pulls on all of the drawers. So I got these with a back plate, which is the same thing as this, just has a back plate on it, for my hutches. But I'm wondering if this is a little too much for the doors. Should I do the back plate or just the simple knob? I really don't know. I'm so torn. This is so pretty, but I did get these with the intentions of it being a bigger door. So this to me, I can't tell if that's just like too much. And I do have this back plate handle going on this door. So I'm wondering if maybe I just keep it simple, but this might also be really fun to do on here. Tell me what you think. Here it is, here's the finished thing. It looks so good, and look how easy it is to access the microwave. And then when we're not using it, it's just nicely tucked away out of plain sight. And we have little other small appliances up here, like toaster, rice cooker, waffle maker. I'm just so happy with it. I think it looks so good with the rest of the kitchen too. I can't wait for you guys to see it. And I also really love how this curved detail matches the toe kick. It just, I'm obsessed. Wrapping up this week by trying to just get this drywall here and here sanded and repainted. And then I can officially check this off my list. And next week I'll be ready to move forward with the coffee bar. And I don't know if you guys noticed this, but I actually replaced this light. It's the same exact light, but it's much smaller. Can you guys tell that I'm getting a cold? The other one was just so gorgeous. But with this view into the dining room, it felt a little too heavy to have this giant globe kind of competing with that big chandelier in the dining room, which I want to be like a focal point. So sizing down, I think, was the right thing to do. So coffee bar is next week. Also, cannot wait to get the dining room cleaned up. This is a weird view, but I'm trying to cut out the refrigerator. Here we go. With the whole view in mind, which you guys can't actually see because I'm hiding the refrigerator, this little door situation over here is kind of weird. I ended up buying, I don't know what these things are called, but I bought this piece of trim for the top of this door. So I'm going to install one, try to be careful. I'm going to install one on top of this door too, to see if it can kind of like balance this like weird empty wall above it. I think it'll just look really nice.